All right, we are all the way live. Second day intro to the unit circle. Remembering that the unit circle is a circle with a radius of 1. Okay, with a radius of 1, we could figure a lot out. In fact, trigonometry, which is what we're starting to connect with, trigonometry is the math of triangles. But a lot of what is deduced and figured out about trigonometry is with the unit circle. So this is kind of like the launching point into trig and the launching point into, the unit circle. Okay, so first off, the unit circle, right, is on the x and y coordinate system, right? So since it is a unit circle, this point right here is 1 for x, 0 for y. You see? Each point around the circle will have a point to it. So this one right here is over 1 for x from the origin. So that is 1, 0, right? This direction over here, this point over here is going to be negative 1, 0, because negative 1 for x, 0 for y, no up and down. And then, we're going to be filling this out. I just want to give you an idea about this. Up here, we're at 0 for x, no left to right, and 1 for y. Down here, 0 for x, negative 1 for y. So you could see that, we just put 4 different points on the unit circle, right? And we are going to be able to fill that out much more. In fact, the homework is having you fill out an entire unit circle. In addition to doing like 3 or 4 of these that are really just calculator work. So here's the thing. We have to get our calculators ready for this. So I want you to do a little practice right now on going between degree mode and radian mode. If you look really close, you see how it has DEG? You see DEG? That's degree mode. And then what you have to do is, I can zoom in. That's right. Oh, you can see it pretty good there. So that's degree mode, right? And then what you want to do is, you see how there's a button in the background here that's DRG? DRG? It might be mode. If you have a fancy calculator, you might have to push mode and select RAD, right? Watch what I do when I do this. To get to the background, remember we push second. And then what I'm going to do is push this button here, and look what happens. Radian mode. You see how it says rad? Rad. So we want to just get used to doing that. Switch between degree mode and radian mode a couple times, because you want to, if your theta, if your angle is in a degree, you have to be in degree mode. See, look, that's going to go to gradient mode. We don't need that. There's degree mode. So you just want to be either in degree mode if you're dealing with degrees as your theta, or you have to be in radian mode if you're dealing with radians. Okay, rad or deg. All right. So just practice that a couple times. Make sure you know where it is. If you really don't know where it is, let me know in the chat, and I'll try to maybe use a calculator that's similar to yours. But just going between them. Now we're in radian mode. All right, they hit it twice to get back to degree mode. Okay, so that's going to be the key. Back it out. So we're going to talk, like I said, more about the trig part of this on Tuesday. To find the unit circle coordinates, first, just to remember again, if the theta is in degree, you got to be degree mode, radian mode. And then to find the x coordinate, we're using the cosine function. I'll break that down on Tuesday. For now, I want you just to trust it. The trig functions are relating the sides of a triangle. And when we're using a unit circle, you're going to see on Tuesday that cosine is going to give us our x coordinates for any theta that we want. Any theta that you can give me, I could find the x coordinate by plugging in cosine of theta. I could find the y coordinate by plugging in sine of the theta. And these are things that are going to come up over and over, as long as you can make the mental connection between cosine and x and sine and y, right? How did I think of this before? Oh, there was like a mnemonic device I had before. I don't know. If you cosine for a loan, you mark your signature on the X. Nah, that's not good enough. I'll think of something fancy. Sine. God, there was another one. I don't remember. Ah, it's sine, guys, not sin. Okay, so sine and cosine. Um, we'll keep using it, so you'll come up with we'll come up with ways to remember it pretty quick, I think. All right, look. So if we have pi over 2, we can find the x and y values. We could find the x and y values for all these. So I want you to go ahead and here is pi over 2. This is radians. I always forget. You got to write radian after it. The degree symbol tells us it's degree for degree measures. So go ahead and write radian here. I take that for granted. If it has pi in it, I think of it as radian. But we need to note that. And I want you to find what are the coordinates and tell me in the chat. You're going to find the x coordinate. You're going to find the y coordinate using cosine and sine function. So let's see. You have a pi button in there. So if I was trying to find the cosine, I would go cosine. Whoops. Actually, mine, I have to put in the theta first. I do pi divided by 2, and then I push cosine. Yeah. And if it's like 0.9999999, you're going to round it to 1. So play with your calculator a little bit. Sometimes you have to put in the radian measure before you push cosine or before you push sine. So let's see, what is pi over 2 sine? Oh, that's why. Jeez. So make sure you're in radian mode if you're not. Okay. Pi over 2 should be there. Pi over 2 should be there. All right. Cosine of that should be 0. There we go. Okay. Pi divided by 2 equals, and then push sine. There we go. All right, so let's see if you guys got what I got here. For the first point, we get 0, 1. 0, 1. Okay, give me thumbs up, sideways, down if that's the point you got. Thumbs up, sideways, down. Get out your phone if you don't have a calculator. You can do trig functions on your phone. So I'll show you what I did here. I'm in radians, so I go make sure I'm in radian mode. I'm in radian mode, so now I can go in and do pi over 2, pi, divided by 2 equals. Okay. And then I'm going to push cosine. 0. I'm going to do that again. Pi divided by 2 equals. And then I'm going to do sine. 1. That is the point. What we just discovered is on the unit circle, if we are at pi over 2 radians, we're at the point 0, 1. All right, let's try it for the next one. 7 pi over 6. Again, if you don't have a calculator, you can do this on your iPhone or a phone. We're in radian mode. 7 pi equals, oh, didn't do it. 7 times pi, you got to do times for some calculators, okay? And then I divide by 6, and then I'm going to push cosine. And what do we get? Negative 0.877. Now I'm going to do the whole thing again. 7 times pi divided by 6. And then I'm going to do the sine. Negative a half. That's a coordinate. Okay? And we'd be able to find that. We'd be able to find that on the unit circle. It's down around here. Okay? We're gonna figure that out next when we do the unit circle. All this stuff's going to come together when we do the unit circle. The last bit we have is finding the coordinate for the theta of 270 degrees. So I'm going to even, like for this one, I'm going to go ahead and draw a circle because it's going to help us conceptualize this better. All right, so remember that here's 0, here's 180, here's 270, here's 90. So remember what we did in the beginning, 270 degrees is my theta right here. So what we're doing is finding where the point is on the circle at that measurement of theta. So if I do this correctly, because this is a unit circle, this point right here at 270 degrees should be 0 for x, no movement left to right, 0 for x, and -1 for y. Let's see if that works when we use our calculator. Okay, that's what we're finding. We're finding where on the circle we end up when we have that theta. So let's go ahead and put it in degree mode. Okay, degree mode. And then I'm going to do, I think for mine I have to put in 270 and then push cosine. Ah, look at that. I love it when it works. 0. 270 sine. Oh, yeah, -1. Yep. It works. Math works. Okay. All right, right now it's just like calculator work. It doesn't really connect that much. But if we have to do this, can we do it? Thumbs up, sideways, down. Can we find the coordinates? Yeah? Yeah? All right. All right. So now we're going to zoom out here and we'll play around with this idea a little bit more. But now we're going to draw a unit circle. So I need you to go ahead and use your paper and let's make a big unit circle. That's not bad. That's not bad. It's kind of eggy through the middle. I want you to go ahead and make a X and a Y. Just the best you can. Hey, is that perfect? No, it's fine. All right. All right. So here's what we have to do first. I'm going to even color code this. If you actually have different colored pencils or whatever, maybe even get them out because it's going to be helpful. Okay. So here's the thing. Let's do what we do know. What do we know? Let's put our degrees in here first. 0 degrees, 90 degrees, right? 180 degrees, 270 degrees. You guys good with those? Just 90 degrees. We go 90 degrees further, 90 degrees further. We're going around the circle, 90 degrees, 180, 270, all the way around, 360. Okay. Now, we want to break the top half into 6 parts. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to break this into 6 parts, and I'm going to do that by breaking each of the quarters here into thirds. See what I did? Thirds. And just keep going around the circle. All right. If here is 0 degrees, and from 0 to 180 goes halfway around, and I broke that halfway around into 6 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How much is each of these to just go 1/6 of the way? What would you say? To go 1/6 of the way. If all the way halfway here, halfway around is 180, and I break that into 6 parts, then each of these is going to be, this is going to be 30 degrees, right? 60, 90, we already had that. Keep going, keep going. 120, 150, 180, 210, plus 30 is 240, 270, nice, we're doing it right. 300, 330, 360. Okay. We just broke it up like that, and we're going to actually, now we're going to do our radians. So maybe do radians in a different color. Now, watch what we're going to do. We're going to have to think about this, and let's put in what we do know. 0 radians, 0. We go halfway around, and we get to pi. So if this is 0 and this is pi, what's halfway? Pi divided by what? Show me on your fingers. Pi divided by? If all the way here is pi, we rotate pi radians. How about if I just go halfway? Pi over 2. You see? It's just halfway there. Next. All right. So what we did was we figured out our degrees, 0, 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180. We're now putting in our radians, 0 to pi, so halfway is pi over 2. And then I want to think about it. If going halfway around the circle is pi radians for our measure of the angle, as we open, that's pi radians. If I only go 1/6 of the way, because look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the way. 1/6 of the way is pi over 6. Now it's going to go a little quicker. Watch what's going to happen. If this is pi over 6, then I go another 6th, and I have 2 pi over 6, aka pi over 3. You see, I just reduced it. So I'm going to put our final values for radians in highlighted here. Pi over 6. And then look, if I go another 6th, I get 3 pi over 6. 3 pi over 6 is the same as pi over 2. So that's how I get up to this one. 3 pi over 6 is the same as pi over 2. 3 over 6 is a half. Pi over 2. All right, let's look. 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6. 4 pi over 6, which is 2 pi over 3. All right. 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6. 5 pi over 6 cannot be reduced, so we have it. Yeah. All right. 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6. 6 pi over 6 is equal to 1 pi. All right, let's see. 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6, 6/6, 7 pi over 6. That's this one. Okay, and I'm not going to keep counting them up like that. We could see that that's 7 pi over 6, so this is going to be 8 pi over 6, which is 4 pi over 3. We just keep adding one more sixth, and we reduced as we go for what we can reduce. Eight pi over 6, we add another sixth, we get 9 pi over 6, which we can reduce to 3 pi over 2. All right, let's keep going. Let's see, we had 9 pi over 6. This is going to be 10 pi over 6, which is 5 pi over 3. And finally, we have 11 pi over 6, which cannot reduce. And the last one is 12 pi over 6. 12 divided by 6 is 2, so this is 2 pi. All right. All right. So the main things we did first, we found our quadrants. You know, we just broke it into 4. We broke into 4. From there, we found out we have 0. We have pi, so in the middle is pi over 2. We have pi and 2 pi, so in the middle is 3 pi over 2. We figured that out by using our sixths, working it out. Okay. And now we just have one more set to put in. Let's see, let's use purple. You see how this is 90 degrees? 90 degrees. So let's find the 45 degrees by going right in between those two. And you can extend that all the way across to get to the other side. So again, we're putting like the 45 degree. This is 45 degree. We're putting the 45 degree halfway in between. Halfway in between. And then basically we're going to go and do the other side here. That way as well. Somebody just left. They're like, nah, I'm done with the unit circle. All right, but don't worry about this. Don't worry about this. Let's look at this. Now watch. 0 pi over 2. What's in between 0 and pi over 2? Between 0 and a half. You got $0 and you have half a dollar. What's in between that amount? Between 0 and a half is pi over 4. Okay. So we have 0. We have pi over 4. We have pi over 2. So let's think about that. 0, a quarter, 50 cents. What's next before the step here before we get to 1 whole pi? This is going to be 3/4 pi. 3 pi over 4. So we're building this really slowly just to get acquainted with the different parts and to see that we can deduce it out of nowhere. We can just remember that we break the top half into sixths and the bottom into sixths. Then we're breaking it into 45 degree angles halfway in between our axes. And we keep on counting it up. Now watch what's next. If you have $1, you have 4 quarters. So we had 0 quarters, 1 quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters, 4 quarters, 5 quarters. That's our next one. 5 quarters. 5 quarters. This is 6 quarters. Down here, we've already done it though. 6 fourths is 3/2. We already did that. And then last, so that's 5, 6, 7 quarters. This is the last one. All right. And that's 7 quarters, so 8 quarters. How did it? One sec. Oh, that's why. That should not be an 8. That should be a 4. Hey, change this, guys, right here. Change this right here. That's a 4. Okay. 7 pi over 4. All right. So these are the basics for the unit circle. The unit circle. All right. The next part. Everybody in the chat right now, if 1 is totally confused and 5 is I'm following along, tell me in the chat where you at. 1 is just like confused. What the heck are we doing? 5 is like, yeah, I'm following you. I'm waiting for it though. Waiting for what this is about. Tell me in the chat what's the score on this. Okay. All right. Halfway. Okay, we're above half. Okay. Okay. 4s. 3s, 3.5. Got 1.5. Okay. Good. It's just a lot, guys. I know it's a lot to bring out, but I have to like show you. This is like the playing field. And then on Tuesday, I'm going to show you how to play the game. Okay. All right. The last thing we have to do to fill in. Oh, somebody unmuted. The last thing we have to do to fill in is to go ahead and put points along the way. So every single branch, go ahead and put a point, but you're going to see that our standard points are going to be very similar in a certain way because there's only 5 friends. We only have 5 friends. Oh, man. Actually, that's good. If you become an adult and you got 5 good friends, you're blessed. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I guess I have 5 good friends. I only have 5 friends. No, I mean friends that you know for like 20 years that you can call up and they'll come help you out no matter what. That's what you need in life, not just fun friends. I got fun friends too. All right, let's look at this. Here are your 5 best friends. They're maybe not your best friends. Maybe you hate them already. You're like, why are you so something? All right, your 5 best friends. 5 besties. 0. Who likes 0? Raise your hand if you like 0. No. All right. Next best friend. 1. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make 1 into 1/2. And then I'm going to go, next best friend, 1. 1 was out of line. 1 got in line too quick. All right. And then I'm going to go with my next friend. I just need to check something real quick. Oops. Nope. Why can't I do it? Oh, that's why. Right. The next best friend is root 2 over 2. Yuck. That's your complex friend. They like to talk about philosophy. The next and last best friend is root 3 over 2. They're kind of like the big brother, big sister kind of like role. Okay, it's a good friend. You can ask them for advice. All right. So here are our 5 friends. The thing with the unit circle is, one of these friends always fits into one of these positions. Always. All of the X and Y values are always going to come from our 5 friends. It's crazy. So if you memorize the 5 friends, you'll be able to figure out all of these pretty quick. I'm going to show you how. Remember that this is a unit circle. So from here to the point right here, right? That is 1. So I'm going to put 1 for x. This is this one right here. 0 for y because there's no up and down. Okay. I'm going to go up here to 12 o'clock. 0 for x. 0 left to right. 0 left to right. 1 for y. We're just putting the friends where they belong. Next, unit circle. So this point over here, we're doing the points around the circle. This point over here, -1 for x, 0 for y. This point down here, let's see, 0 for x, it's aligned with the y-axis, so there's no movement as far as the x goes, but there's -1 for the y. Ah, okay, all right. We're just filling this in. This is kind of a dry lesson, sorry. All right, next. And here's the thing. If you were to take the sine, let's all do that right now. Let's take the sine of 3 pi over 2 just to practice, where my pen's pointing right there. Let's do the sine. We got to change to radian mode. And I'm going to go 3 times pi divided by 2. And then I'm going to push sine. Let's take the sine. Look what we get. Look what we get. We get -1. All right. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm also going to show you this real quick. This one right here is 0.707. Okay. And big brother out here is 0.866. Okay. And, half is 0.5, just in case. Now, what we can do, I just remembered that when I taught this before, I had people in groups. So I had them break into groups of 6 and work out the other parts, the other portions. But I'm just realizing now that filling in the others is what the homework is. Okay? So what I'm going to do is, here are your 5 friends. Each of these points, x and y, x and y, x and y, are going to be one of these 5 friends all the way around the circle. So your goal is to fill out the x and the y for each of these radian measures going around. And that's for the homework, okay, guys? So I'm going to just transition to say the homework is filling out the rest of the points, okay? But I'm telling you, once you see that the 5 friends, how they fit, you'll probably only have to do these top 6. The bottom ones, I think you'll be able to figure it out. So while you're doing the homework, I want you to try to make the connections between what the coordinates are in the top 2 quadrants, 1 and 2, and how it relates to 3 and 4, the bottom quadrants, okay? And on Tuesday, I will bring it all together, how the trig works together with the unit circle. But today is just kind of building it. It's building it. It's like, here's the playing field. Tuesday, I'm going to show you how the game works. All right. All right. Give me a thumbs up, sideways, down for that as a plan. How's that sound? Does that sound okay? All right. Everyone have a calculator? Calculator or a phone they can use? Okay. So this is going to be mainly, we set it all up and explored it, but for the homework, you have to find the other 9 coordinates. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the video now. Thank you for joining if you're watching at home.